Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration.
You're listening to In the Key of J&A Radio Show, and we are your hosts. I'm Angel.
And I'm Jay.
And we are your favorite hump day hosts in the afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome to In the Key of J&A Radio Show on WDRB Media, iHeartRadio. Well, it's hump day again.
It is hump day. Woo-hoo-hoo.
And 2 p.m. So it's our time for us to get on here and act the fool.
It is our time to act the
Welcome
fool.
to all our listeners to In the Key of J&A Radio Show. Yeah, I am your hump day host,
Hey,
Jay.
hump day host. This is Angel, and we are excited. We are
live.
We are ready to laugh today.
We are live in effect right now.
Because you real old school with in effect.
Yeah.
You took that back to like the 80s in effect.
In effect. Yeah, people don't say that no more. I think I'm going to start that back.
Don't bring that back. Some things you don't need to bring back.
I'm going to start that back. I have a platform where I use a microphone, so I think I'm going to start that back.
Yeah.
Somebody
come back with in effect.
Type in the comments in effect.
That means that you're going to have to bring back some Etonics. Ooh, you can't say in effect without Etonics.
Yeah,
And maybe
y'all
a
gonna
Kango.
see me sporting the Elises now.
Yeah, and a fuzzy Kango.
So, listen, let me say this, yo. Like, I am so grateful to all our listeners, to those that support us. Thank you so much
y'all.
for tuning in.
We've been getting some of y'all messages and telling us how much y'all are enjoying the show.
Yeah, so it gives us motivation to keep going. Thank you to WDRB Media and iHeartRadio.
Yes.
We got a great show for you today. We start off laughing because
people are mad.
Yeah, people
that know us
upset,
are mad at us right now.
And so here's the thing, y'all. Just to get us started, I happened to post something on last week. If you called it, you called it. A lot of people called it, but it was only up for about 20 minutes because I got so many calls. All I posted was,
we are,
and folks went off.
Off. They lost it.
OFS.
AFFFF.
And you would have think folks would have been more happy,
off is what they did.
Yeah, AWF. They went off. You think folks would have been happy, say, hey, congrats and all that. We had a few folks that was like, congrats. But most folks was like, nah, no.
No.
First of all, how did this happen? And I'm like,
oh my God. I'm like,
what you mean, how did this happen?
Right.
Like, you older than me. You don't know how this happens?
When I say healthy marriage, we say healthy marriage now. Like, how else do you have a baby?
But for those that didn't know and those that didn't see, we were talking about our wonderful dog.
Our new fur baby.
Yeah, our fur baby.
His name is Sawyer Hathaway Morris.
Sawyer Hathaway Morris. Now,
yes,
you named him that?
I sure did. I named him because Donny Hathaway is probably both have together. That's probably one artist that we both equally love.
So what's your favorite Hathaway song, Donny? What's your favorite?
For All We Know.
Really?
That is my favorite Donny Hathaway song. Yes,
what y'all know about that out there? For All We Know by Donny Hathaway. I think we may go ahead and play that, during the break. But you know what's crazy? I was listening to that. I remember when you first showed me that song. And I first heard it, because I didn't hear it till you showed it to me.
I introduced you to so many things.
You did, but it's just, when I heard that song, it was almost like he was spilling his guts out.
Well, that's not the right way to say that, considering the way he passed. Let's be respectful.
Let's be respectful. No, I didn't mean it like that, but
I know what you meant.
And
I'm sure the people know what you meant too. But yes, the song is very melancholy, and it's definitely a song that sounds as if he knew that his last days were coming. And there's a reason, for me, why that song touches me so much, because I've had a lot of last days coming in my mind. Just didn't, we thank God that I wasn't that unwise.
Okay.
I guess that's the rest. The guess.
Well, it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful. I listen to it now only because the music is so beautiful.
It's beautiful. So, it's a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song, and that's when I heard it, I was like, wow, it's sad, but the music is amazing on it. So, but either way, back to Mr. Sawyer, who is our mixed addition,
terrier.
Jack Terrier, is that what it is? Jack Terrier?
Mm-hmm.
Little small.
Jack Russell Terrier, but he's mixed with another terrier breed as well. So. And he is a rescue dog. We have adopted him. He's coming from Texas. Mm-hmm. And he and his siblings were found in a box on the street outside. And we thank God for people who genuinely love animals.
Yeah. And to be honest, we waited so long to have a pet because, number one, I wasn't raised in a house with a pet.
Me neither.
So this is my first. My mom did not allow it. A cat. I think we had a mouse. that was in the house by default, and she tried to get rid of him.
And his name wasn't Ben.
It wasn't Ben, nor Mickey.
Nope.
And he ate up everything.
Yep. And that's probably what we're gonna be talking about today, is the joke of all jokes. And when I tell you, our family is upset. Some of our family members, we're not gonna say no names, but they were crying and angry with me. Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
All right, so stay tuned to In the Key of J&A Radio Show right here on WDRB Media, iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Welcome back to In the Key of J&A Radio Show right here on WDRB Media. So listen, we're going to get right back into it. The joke.
The joke that got our family members
up in the roar now.
Fire, Red Man.
Yeah. So, of course, everybody knows now what it is, but at the time, it was just really.
He took his down, so I reposted it, and
friends we ain't heard from in years
start calling, texting. So I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm getting threatening messages. Don't make me drive to where you are, and all this other stuff. And people crying on the phone, and it's been a mess.
So, but my thing is,
but we laughed good.
We laughed good. But my thing is, what is the issue with having a child right now?
Well,
okay, we're both 40 and older, so
I'll tell my age. I am 45, literally 6 months away from being 46.
Awesome.
And I'm very proud of that.
Happy early birthday.
Yes, very, very early. But I'm very proud of the fact that, I even made it this far. So
yeah,
I'm grateful. I'm not ashamed of my age. But
is there issues with maybe having a child?
For women, yes.
No, I'm talking about, like, let's say, knowing our lifestyle, knowing us and what we do and how we do it, our fast pace.
You know what it is? I honestly think that because we've been together for as long as we've been, we're going into year 12. And I don't think that anybody would have thought that after 12 years of being together and everything that we do and have done, that a baby would be, in the works.
Right. Because we're very fast paced. That we do right now. We have a lot that we're into. So many different businesses and ventures that both of us have in our lives right now. Like a baby right now would definitely slow things down for sure. Keeping us up at night.
And it's not like we did not consider having a baby throughout our relationship. We were actually considering at one time having a surrogate at one time.
I still am.
At one time. Mm-hmm. We were considering having a surrogate at one time.
Act like I ain't saying it.
And we started the process, and then, unfortunately, life circumstances took that opportunity away from us. And it devastated me in a lot of ways. And then other life circumstances hit us even harder, and I was over it.
Life happens to everybody.
I was over having a baby
Yeah.
And then, then we started talking about it again. We also considered adoption, but then we have to go back to the lifestyle that we have. You know, our children are older.
But now they're older. But at the time,
time they were very young still, and it would have been ideal to have one then. But
even at that time, we're talking about our kids were 8 and 10, and you know, so you know they were still kids, kids, baby kids themselves. So they needed more of us at that time. So even in the ventures that we had at that particular time was stressing and more of a challenge, even though our children was old enough to feed themselves at the time. And you know, so I can imagine even starting back all the way,
starting over again, tripping at the finish line. So first of all, let's remember that our oldest is 25.
Right.
Our oldest is 25. Now our youngest,
oh my gosh,
is 13. So they're already 12 years apart.
Right.
10 years apart between our daughters.
Now this is about the time where you had the oldest son.
Yes. So my oldest, and when we say my or your, it's simply because we have no actual children together. We have a blended family. So I don't want anybody to misunderstand. Our children are our children.
Right.
We don't do step this and step that. But ideally, yes. My oldest daughter is 25 years old. My youngest is 13. And I have a son and a daughter. And you have a daughter. And they're all our children.
Right.
So we just want to make sure we got that part clear real fast.
Right.
But yes, my oldest and my youngest are 12 and a half. Well, no, not really a half, but 12 and some months apart. And then our two daughters are 10 years.
So were there, let me ask you, were there any challenges between the age difference, and how did your oldest take now that you're all of a sudden having another?
Well,
at the time, of course.
I'll never forget. I picked her up from school, and I believe she was in the 6th grade, 7th grade, or something like that. I picked her up from school, and I told her the news, and she cried.
Really? All out cried?
And she was not happy with me.
That's the thing. Like, what is people's first reaction with crying? Like,
she cried, and then when I told her that she was having a brother, it was worse. Like, she was super angry. She did not want a brother. She wanted a sister really bad. Like, she's like, okay, if I have to have a baby in the house, I wanted a sister so she can do all, do her hair and all this stuff like that. Until he was born. And when he was born and she saw him in the hospital, like, you couldn't even get him out of her hands. And she became his mama by default. I didn't, every chance she got, she had him in her room. She taking care of him. But now they're like night and day.
Yeah.
Now they're like night and day. So,
that's how it usually is. Once they start growing, then you actually got to realize you got to feed them. You got to change them. You got to make sure,
They love each other, but they, because he's a teenager. He's just coming into his teenage years, so he's still a little immature, and she's not having that. So,
well, we're gonna keep talking about that right after this break. So y'all keep it locked right here on the In the Key
of
JNA radio show, right here on WDRB Media iHeartRadio. Welcome back to In the Key of JNA radio show.
Welcome back, folks.
On WDRB Media iHeartRadio.
Yep.
We're so glad to have you back with us. Tuning on in.
I got a question.
Yeah, sure.
I know that you wanted to have another baby at least a couple years ago. I know you really, really wanted to have another baby. And my question is, if that was how do I say that? If there was a way that you could have that as a Christmas gift? Knowing that you are a father of a teenage daughter, is that what you would want?
Well, let's straighten some out first. I still want another child.
If it was to be a gift for Christmas, would you still want to have another baby?
Well, I still want one.
Gift for Christmas, a couple days away, which means that's probably not going to happen, considering it's a couple days away. But the what if is there.
The what if is definitely there, and to be honest, yeah, I would still. I mean, even in this climate of where we are, yeah, definitely. And when I say climate, like, there's a lot of challenges that you know, like before I met you, I was a single father. And even being a single father, one of the hardest challenges I had was my daughter's hair.
Oh, yes.
So
I remember that.
Because I wasn't good at hair, so she stayed in a ponytail for like a year.
My poor baby's edges.
You know, she had a wonderful ponytail and that little rubber band.
It wasn't wonderful.
That wonderful ponytail and that rubber band that stayed around the end, and that was it.
Wonderful.
And she was balling, huh? She was balling with her rubber band and ponytail.
Good night.
But other than that, no, I didn't see.
Thank God I came to the rescue.
Oh, here she goes.
That's right.
You know, and the thing was, I appreciate all the help that I got, even as a single father, because, you know, I personally, you know, I didn't do a lot of cleaning. I didn't do a lot of, you know, looking after her the way that she needed. So my mom was there when I didn't have anybody else. So
yeah,
I can appreciate having a child, but a daughter is a whole another situation for a single father. Now, if you have a son, you know, of course, I can take him to the barbershop. You know, I know.
Well, sons have their challenges too, because just like how a father doesn't want to, you know, when the babies are that young, fathers are not typically trying to do all of the physical maintenance to a daughter, and I can understand why, especially now in times that we live in. But mothers have the same issue with their sons. When they get to a certain age, their sons don't want you to, you know, help them wash, or like they're very private and they don't want you to look at them, and they don't want to come and tell you when there's something wrong. So
they're coming into their own.
Yeah, boys are just as challenging as girls are. So haircuts, well, now, you know, kids don't want haircuts. They don't. They want hair everywhere.
Well, you know, I think that our youngest son is growing a little peach fuzz now.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Like, we saw that. We took some pictures
and saw his little blonde peach fuzz coming into a beard, and I said, "No, I'm not ready."
Yeah. So not the little guy that used to run around the house all the time.
Now he has a little mustache, and he has a little blonde beard coming in, and I am not happy. I don't want to go through all these changes all over again. That's why the fur baby was necessary.
Yes.
Our fur baby was necessary.
Are old enough
to take care of him, because I'm not going to be the only one.
And they're able to pick up after them, because they wanted a fur baby. So I wasn't used to a pet. I don't mind one. And, you know, neither was Angel, you know, but
I'm not used to having a pet. I did have my brother's dog at one time, and he had a Rottweiler, so I feel like this little baby terrier is going to be just fine in my hands, because I don't like big dogs.
Oh my God.
And I don't like dogs that shed. So
yeah. Oh, yes, you have allergies.
Yes.
I got it.
So that was one of the reasons why too we didn't get a fur baby early, because we have allergies. You know, I'm definitely certainly allergic to cats. I try not to go anywhere around people who have cats. But having a dog with not a lot of hair was probably going to be the best choice for us.
Well, we certainly welcome Sawyer
Hathaway Morris
to the family. So
our 3-month-old baby pup.
Yeah, Jack Terrier.
And we are excited. Yeah. I'm glad that he is a part of our family. We're going into the new year, expanding in a lot of areas. And this is one of the areas that we have decided to expand in. And I am grateful. So thank you, because, you're the one who gave the gift to the family. So we appreciate you. We love you.
Well, I give a lot of gifts.
Good gifts, too.
They called me Saint Nick.
Good night. Saint Nick, the Hump Day host.
Saint Nick, the Hump Day host. We gonna end on that note,
yes,
y'all.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Merry Christmas. Thank y'all for listening to us on WDRB Media, iHeartRadio, and the Key of J&A Radio Show.